After giving this woman a gift, one man's mother tried to kill him by burning an enchanted log, and this woman killed two centaurs when they tried to rape her during an event in which she drew the first blood. That event ended with Meleager giving this woman the hide of the Caledonian bear. In one account about this person, she and her lover were supposedly turned into lions after making love in a temple sacred to Zeus, and another story about her relates how Aphrodite assisted Hippomenes in beating her at one event. For 10 points, name this Greek woman who lost a foot race to Hippomenes because he distracted her by throwing golden apples. And the answer is Atalanta. This place is the lower of two places described as inside the fence. This place's fence was first made from the eyebrows of a being formed by the mixing of hot and cold in the Ginnungagap. Lif and Lifthrasir will repopulate this place, whose original residents were Ask and Embla. Niflheim and Muspelheim are often depicted to this place's north and south, and Ymir's eyebrows separate this place from Jotunheim, the home of the giants. It is connected to Asgard by a rainbow bridge, and a namesake serpent encircles it. For 10 points, name this middle enclosure of Norse mythology, the world in which humans live. And the answer is Midgard. The Mycenaean house sanctuaries are thought to have been dedicated to this deity. This figure turned Tiresias into a woman when he struck a pair of snakes with a stick. This deity offered Hebe to Heracles as his bride, and Nephele was created to resemble this deity. This goddess offered Paris control over all of Europe and Asia, and she indirectly caused Semele to burst into flames. Heracles killed two snakes that were sent by this goddess to kill him because she was jealous. For 10 points, name this wife of Zeus the chief goddess of the Greek pantheon. And the answer is Hera. This deity once attempted to embarrass another deity by impregnating him, but later found that he had impregnated himself. This god was worshipped at Ombos, and he has been depicted fighting Apep on Ra's sun barge. This god carries the wasp scepter, and he once lost a boat race when his opponent painted his boat to look like it was made of stone. After killing his brother by cutting him into 14 pieces, this god had a bitter rivalry with his nephew Horus. For 10 points, name this evil Egyptian god of chaos and disorder. And the answer is Set. In Hungarian mythology, Hodor is the god of this concept. One deity of this concept was hit in the face when a man became enraged and threw a bull's leg at her, and another deity of this event owns the Stymphalian birds. The Egyptian goddess of this event is named Sekhmet and nearly destroyed all of humanity before Ra got her drunk. The Greek god of this concept was caught having an affair with Aphrodite by Hephaestus. For 10 points, name this concept, gods of which include the Babylonian Ishtar and the Greek Ares. And the answer is war. Diotima declares this figure is a son of contrivance and poverty. A story about this male figure is told by an old woman to comfort Charity, beginning in Book 4 of the Golden Ass. This brother of Anteros complains to his mother in a Theocritus poem after being stung by bees. He is called Protogenos, or firstborn, to reference his possible parentage by either Chaos or Uranus and Gaia. Upon being convinced this god is a malicious serpent, his lover spills candle oil when trying to see his face. He fathers Hedone with that lover after she completes 4 trials to appease his mother Venus. For 10 points, name this lover of Psyche a love god who uses a bow. And the answer is Cupid. Though the other 4 essays concern Delphi, The religious practices of this place are the subject of the first essay in Volume 5 of the Morale of Plutarch. It is named for a king who lost all but one of his 50 sons to the Danites. The syncretic Serapis was mainly worshipped here. In animal form, the gods flee to this region from Typhon, whom Plutarch equates with its antagonistic storm god. Menelaus wrestles the old man of the sea Proteus in this region, home to a goddess of magic with a mystery cult in Roman times who reassembled her husband's cut-up body. For 10 points, name this home of the river god Nilus, whose native deities included Isis. And the answer is Egypt. This figure planted the first rose garden under Mount Bermion, whose bushes Herodotus noted bore 60 blossoms each. This figure donated his throne to the Delphic oracle. He spread the worship of Cybele, his mother. He washed off in the Pactolus River and threw its water on his daughter Zoe. This son of Gordius wore a Phrygian cap after he chose Marsyas over Apollo and received a punishment only revealed after reeds grew from the hole his barber whispered in. Before he was given donkey ears, this Phrygian received Silenus into his palace, for which he gained a power he enjoyed until it prevented him from eating or drinking. For 10 points, name this king whom Dionysus gave the power to turn whatever he touched into gold. And the answer is King Midas. In one text, this figure asks his companion whether he saw in the underworld him who had 1 son, him who had 2 sons, and him who had 7 sons. In another work, that figure cuts down 300 wooden poles in order to cross the waters of death, having mistakenly killed the stone things that would have ferried him across. This son of the goddess Ninsun sought the plant of immortality from Utnapishtim after his closest friend passes away. That friend earlier accompanies him to the cedar forest to slay the giant Humbaba. For 10 points, name this companion of Enkidu and king of Uruk, the hero of a namesake Akkadian epic. And the answer is Gilgamesh. This figure seduces his niece Tyro, who kills their children when she learns of his ruse to kill his brother Salmoneus. To solve his city's water shortage, this figure receives a spring from a river god in exchange for the information that his daughter Aegina is one of Zeus's lovers. This figure orders his wife to prepare his body without funeral rites, such as placing a coin under his tongue. That wife, Merope, obeys, and Charon sends him back to the world of the living. In another of his ruses, this man tricks Thanatos into his own chains, preventing all living beings on Earth from dying. For 10 points, name this crafty king of Corinth condemned to push a boulder up a hill for all eternity. And the answer is Sisyphus.